Hello there and welcome. This is a video about managerial masterpieces. Now, I've just managed to complete the Squad Foundations 2 for the English Football League, which is this is the team here that I did it with. Basically, it's a whole load of 75 rated players. Because managerial masterpiece, you have the overall squad rating of 77 maximum. So you can see this up here. That has to be 77. If it's 78, you're not going to be allowed to enter a game. If it's 76, yeah, you'd be fine or whatever. But 77 maximum for it, really. So I came up against a load of teams that, because you have to have 3 silvers in your squad and you're not allowed any bronzes in your squad, people were putting silvers in the starting team, thus making the first 11 players that you start with worse. So how I and quite a lot of other managers have done it is your bench, i.e. your players you're not going to lose, has to be the lowest rated that you can get away with while still meeting the criteria of the Managerial Masterpiece friendly session. So because you have to have a minimum of 3 silvers involved, here's my 3 silvers. Now 65 is the lowest rated player you can get for a silver, thus keeping your overall player average rating as low as possible. These golds here are the lowest rated gold commons in my squad. I'm not going to use them, I'm not going to bring them on, so they just help keep the overall average low, maximising what I'm allowed starting on the pitch. These ones here, these don't count towards your squad average, so you could have icons there, it doesn't matter. This is just the end objective cards, the Buendia, the Lerma, and the Rico Henry. So, having the lowest rated players here, Diego Rico, the Bournemouth left back, is the lowest gold left back in the Championship. So his price went up. Luckily, I managed to get one for 1,100, which is pretty good, and I'll probably sell him back after shortly anyway. The defenders are pretty much whatever you can get. I did come across the Sheffield Wednesday centre back, the quick guy. He's got 83, 84 pace, something like that. He came up against him quite a fair bit, but I prefer having gold defenders in my starting lineup, even though their pace is 50 and 63. There's a couple of options at right back, but I went with Adam Smith. Lolly is an obvious option right midfield, and Pearson at centre midfield. They're both 75, so it just keeps everything low, allowing you to use the squad foundations, players from last time, Scott Sinclair, Bradley Dack, and Joshua King, assuming that you did those. They were there, they were a Managerial Masterpiece back whenever they were. I think it was December, I'm not sure. And I did the Rooney SBC, and lucky enough, he is able to fit in, and I'm able to fit the 93 rated card in and keep my overall average down to 77. Now, if you put the silvers in your starting lineup, you'd have to have the gold players on the bench, so your average is going to be a little higher. I don't know if that would actually come to 78 and make you invalid, I'm not sure. But yeah, there's various strategies to doing it. I came up against a whole load of people who basically put out 3 silvers in their starting lineup and then 8 low-rated golds. And then off the bench, they brought Mbappe, they brought Timothy Weah, and they brought Mole, for example, players like that. Now, you can do that. That's a perfectly valid option. If it works for you, it works for you. But personally, I prefer minimising my bench and then having what you have in the starting lineup. And because people are working together, you get a whole load of games where it's basically first goal wins, where you go competitively from the start and it's just a matter of first person to score, the person who concedes quits. Because it's a friendly, it doesn't affect your contract. It doesn't affect sendings off, don't affect anything, and it doesn't affect it doesn't affect your game record. So you can just go in, and if you quit 10 games in a row, there's no downside to it. So that works. It's fine. It just makes the games quicker to get on with. And I came up against a couple of other players as well who either for a kickoff just booted the ball to me, or they scored an own goal, or they made it fairly obvious that you've got to meet the objectives, so you might as well work together. So because there's no win condition on the finesse goal or the scoring from a cross, you just took turns to score a finesse goal or score a cross, and you end up with a game that finished like 10-all or 12-all or something like that. And because it's a friendly, somebody had to win, so you finished 13-12 or whatever. And it just enabled you to meet the criteria quicker. Now, obviously, this isn't what EA wants, but it's the players using the game working together to get over the finish line and get the cards they want in their squad. But you also, because there are so many cards that they've used the Managerial Masterpiece friendly arena for, so all the squad foundations players, EFL, MLS, and Eredivisie, they all came through this section, as did Bellerin, Singraven, Coman, Mole, Tonali, Delafeu, Cucurella, Reina, Fofana, Ruben Neves, and Benedetto. They all needed this. So I came up against French squads doing their stuff, Dutch squads doing those objectives and stuff like that, and players just want to win. And because I was able to I got my 8 wins in about 10 or 11 games. Then I had because one of the objectives is to complete 18 games, I was able to just go in and just let the opposition get the objectives goals that they needed without me having to worry about my objectives. My objective was just to finish the game, where you can put a bit of blue tack over your controller button or trigger so that it just plays out while you do whatever you need to do, just away from keyboard or whatever you want to do. Just letting your opposition do what they need to do, and you finish the game. But yeah, it just helps everybody play together, work together, and do it. But sometimes you get players who don't realise the helping out option and just want to do what they want to do without just helping out. So you get somebody who comes along and wins like 14-0 or whatever. But there you go. So yeah, having these players are actually decent players. So this is what my squad would be, and everybody else's squad would be once you've done all the players. So is there going to be a squad foundations 3? Are we going to get some centre backs and a goalkeeper maybe, or a right back, or even another striker? Who knows? But the cards are actually pretty good. This Rico Henry I quite like indeed, although he's only got a 2-star weak foot, which isn't a massive priority for a left back. The fact that he's 5'7", the work rates are okay, attacking and defensive they're high and median. He's got the agility and balance are brilliant. 99.99 means he moves so smoothly and so quickly on the pitch. His passing is good, high crossing, high long, high short, and high vision. You don't need the curve, you don't need the free kick accuracy. What you've got there is fine. He's made for attacking runs down the wing. He's got the pace, he's got the attacking positioning, so he knows where to run and when to run on occasion. He doesn't need to be able to finish. Those not important. The passing for when he gets in those positions, the crossing and the vision, and the agility and balance just means you can turn, you can twist. Although he hasn't got the skill moves, you can still do the basic stuff there. He's short, so his heading accuracy isn't good, but his defensive stats otherwise are fine, and his physicals are lovely. So yeah, he will be useful in an English capacity if there's an English squad criteria later in the game, or whatever. But Jefferson Lerma, defensive midfielder, physicals very aggressive, quite strong, good jumping, good stamina. Defensively, fine as well. Bit of dribbling. It's not his main force really, but they're decent enough for what he needs to do. His passings are good as well. You can see his long and short passes are ahead of the rest of his passing stats. He doesn't need to shoot really from his defensive midfield position, hence the attacking positioning is stuff being low, shot power being high, whatever, and good pace as well. On the 80s, you're probably going to play against him with a shadow or with an engine, to be honest. I think that's the most likely cards people are going to use on him. He hasn't got any normal traits. and he's got 4-star weak foot, which is good. High defensive work rate, which is what you want for a defensive midfielder. And we have Emiliano Buendia, 4-star, 4-star, high attacking and high defensive work rate, 5'8". Now he's going to link to any other. If you want to put an Argentinian squad together, he's a cheap right wing option that's decent. Obviously, the other right wing options Argentina have, Messi, Di Maria, Correa, all that kind of thing. But this guy's a free card, and his highest stats there are the aggression. I didn't expect that. Yeah, balance, aggression, shot power, all above 90, but good pace as well, 90, 88. Penalties are low, which brings his shooting stats down overall, but he's pretty good there otherwise. The passing is good for a wide man, and the dribbling is pretty impressive as well. 90 overall, despite only having the 2 stats above it. Defensively, you don't really need that, although the defensive awareness that he's got, the 72, will help him with the tracking back that you might want your right midfielder to do. So yeah, it's a decent card, and we wait to see what they do if they do a Squad Foundations 3. It does make sense that they would do another one, because you've got 3 from your first set, 3 from your second set, 3 from your third set, or maybe even 4, who knows. Or if the Rooney one, not everybody will have done, so it's a bit up in the air still. I managed to pick up an Ayu and domestic man of the match card for Ayu, but I don't know if are there any other championship special cards. That's the Rooney, Buendia. Oh yeah, Armstrong as well. You'd have the what if from there, who's got it's the what if one that if Blackburn scores 6 goals in the next 5 games, he'll get a +2. Now, that's a really good looking card. His physicals are insane. 98, 91, 94. They'll all go +2 if he gets the rise that if Blackburn earn. His agility and balance have the room to go up as well, and the rest of the dribbling stats are 85. So there's no weaknesses there. And his shooting is well rounded. They're all pretty high where you need it. Volleys and penalties slightly lower, as I always say. And the sprint speed is amazing as well. Finesse, shot, as you want for a striker. 5'6", so like the Rico Henry, he's going to be nippy, he's going to be quick, and I may end up doing that card. Then I think these are, there you go, Team of the Week for Sarr, and a FUT Champion Sarr for that as well. And then these are the 2 special cards. There's Delafeu before he went off to Italy. So yeah, there's a couple of options there. Whether they do a third section, we'll see. I'd like to think they would, but EA is EA, so you never really know. But yeah, good luck with yours, and that's the strategy that I had for completing my objectives. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.